Hello and welcome my fab fans to Glam's video. I'm gonna continue sewing. I actually finished a stripe while off camera because I was trying to figure out a technique that would make it easier but also better looking and work faster. Well, I got to a point where now I can just go in a complete circle and it would finish a stripe each time. And I almost finished pinning all of the stripes down. There's just one left. Every time I put this down, though, I get stabbed in the leg. So that's gonna be forever a thing. Technically it wouldn't be a thing if I was wearing it while doing this. I'm not going to do that because then needles will stab in my chair and I don't need that. But, yeah. Let's see how far I can get. I'm only gonna film these videos in hour increments. Because why not? Also, my goal through this is to make sure I don't tangle this thread once. I say that as I immediately stab myself in the finger. The only reason it keeps getting tangled is because it keeps getting caught on the pins, but the pins are keeping everything in place so that it's easier to actually sew it. There is a logical reason to use pins, okay? It's just to keep everything together. Also to make sure that every stripe is distanced away from each other in a really erratic and fun way, but also about the same distance apart each stripe. I will say at the last 3 stripes I lost count and I was like, shit. I technically need to add all of these stripes, otherwise there won't be exactly enough. Because technically on her suit, on her shorts, I counted there should be 10 orange stripes and the rest be teal. I did that math. I somehow made 10 stripes of fit on it. And now I'm working to attach all of the stripes. And then I'm gonna turn it into a pair of shorts by adding a band around the edge so that I can, 1, make it my size, and 2, make it adjustable. Because contrary to belief, I would actually not mind sharing costumes, but I feel like if clothes are going to be made, they should be made adjustable in case you gain weight, lose weight, throughout all of the developments of your life. Clothes should last through every size you're ever going to be. Not everyone believes that, but I do, and we're not always going to be the same size for our entire life. Our weight is going to fluctuate, and that's normal. I say this while also hating how I look, so you can be confused while I can be anxious. Those two things have nothing in common. Self-hate is a different thing. And nobody ever believes me when I tell them that I do not like how I look. Or they say it's my fault. And I'm just like, wow, you are such a great help with confidence. yes, I do kind of wish I looked a little bit older, or at least my age group, because people don't really believe me when I say that I'm 21. Which doesn't matter in a normal sense, but I need YouTube to stop kind of cutting out my content and letting it stay posted, because it's actually really difficult to keep re-updating it to make sure there's comments. And the comments are the only reason I really like YouTube. It's because I find it fun. The only reason I ever used YouTube in the first place was to read comments. That made YouTube fun for me. I have so much to do in the morning. But you know what? If I film longer content and people watch it, I hope it ups my watch hours. But I post content usually as I film it, which is both useful but also not useful. And the reason I do that is because my phone only has so much space, and I can't keep hundreds of videos just saved. I need them ready to go. Which is also why I find it really inconvenient to have an editor. I'd rather just do it myself or post raw footage. That's actually the reason why I'm just I wanted to give someone an opportunity to be an editor for me. And I was just I don't really like it. I don't like waiting. I don't like when people have a timed schedule that they follow that's not fast or timely. I like things being done quickly and efficiently, which is a lot to ask of literally anyone, which is why I would rather do it myself. Because I don't think anyone could actually keep up with how much content I can film all at once. And it's hours of me just filming and not talking for hours, just being quiet and calm. But I'm not really used to filming myself. My entire high school experience will be summed up by the fact that I did not talk to anyone that I did not like. And that was most of the people I went to school with, because most of them in reality were sluts. I remember I was in a group of really religious women, because they weren't sluts and they didn't want to sleep around, and I appreciated that as the fact that hey, you're not talking about this stuff that I don't really care about. And then they started talking about the stuff that I did not care about, which was sex. I don't like hearing about it. I don't like talking about it. It's not that it's gross or anything. I can appreciate a good, story, even if, the characters fuck. I literally read so many slutty BL comics. I used to read them through high school too, which is why I would turn my homework in before the end of the class period. The homework was for the next day, and the teachers hated that I turned it in a day ahead. But if you give me 10 minutes, I can finish 10 minutes worth of work. And they were like, that was supposed to take an hour, and I was like, for a dumbass, maybe. It's maybe for someone who's a little slow. Sorry, you're a little slower. But this is simple. And I also showed work, too, which made them even more furious as math teachers, because they were just like, you even added, like, your work and shit, like, I can't even be mad at this. It's not like you just used a calculator and wrote down the answer. You actually fucking did the work. I was like, yeah, why wouldn't I? I use a calculator to double check my answers, and that's about fucking it. Because I know sometimes I read numbers wrong. It's fine. It happens. You look at too many numbers, you get mixed up. It happens. But I still got A's throughout high school when it came to math. I actually took up a physics class because it was the easier option. And then my coworker was like, you took physics math and you said that was easy? Yeah. It's really simple, actually, because the math is basically just find x. And they teach you that throughout high school. It's the same shit. Yeah. So I got 100 in that class. That was fun. I didn't even study for any of the tests. I just double-checked my work with a calculator. I also took business math. That was, wow, fractions and decimal points. The amount of people in that class that did not know their fractions and how to multiply and add and subtract fractions, wild. The only reason I know those things is because I used to cook a lot. I don't like cooking, but if I wanted to eat, my dad didn't know how to cook anything other than Hamburger Helper. And, well, I wanted real food. And my parents are divorced, so I couldn't just ask my mother, you know. Love to. Grew up with my mom cooking her, like, really gourmet dishes. And then the occasional cheap pasta dish, because kids like pasta. Just plain pasta and sauce. Though her sauce, she would always like make it filled with vegetables and meat. The only reason my brother liked the sauce was because it was filled with meat, and the only reason I liked the sauce was because it was filled with vegetables. We liked her food for completely different reasons. Which is completely normal. But she would also overcook all her food. Which my friend Nakia pointed out, and I was like, yeah, we like our food a little overcooked. But we also kind of grew up on it, so it's kind of just how it is. Our mom always overcooked everything, and the reason she did it was because she just genuinely likes things slightly overcooked. Overcooked food is slightly softer, and that's why whenever I eat pasta, I don't like it al dente. I don't like it when it's hard. Like, it's cooked through, but, like, if it's too hard and not soft, I don't want to eat it. Because then I'll have to chew it for too long, and then I get tired, and then I'm just like, eh. It's texturally unappealing. I kind of want to, like, break this orange, like, one off and, like, get a new one that's bigger. But I kind of like that it's uneven. Because it gives off more circus vibes. And Miss Joke is kind of a clown, so... I mean, if you couldn't tell this was Miss Joke's shorts, then that's on you. It's a pretty unique color scheme. The actual reason I'm working on a Miss Joke costume that I'm making by myself is because I also want to work on making an Aizawa cosplay from scratch. And the reason I want to do it is for if I go to a cosplay con again, I actually want to join one of the competitions. Because it looks so fun, but also horrifying because I hate being on stage. I somehow made friends with a group of children, and it's all because they thought I was a child. And I'm just like, oh, sweet poor souls. I'm sorry. I'm not in your age group. I will be friends with your parents, but not you. Sorry. And then I started flirting with a kid's mom. 'Cause I'm awesome. It's like, damn. For no reason, other than I could. And her father was right there, too. Which makes it so much better. I'm friends with her on Discord, though, so... Though, I was gonna play, oh god, what is it called? That bomb game, but, like, I was gonna be, like, the manual, because I'm really good at reading manuals, but also I don't have the game, so I can't play anything other than the manual. But it's like a bomb defusing game. Oh, I could do that on stream. That'd be so fun to play with someone. I wouldn't mind being the manual if someone else played, like, the bomb diffuser. Because I get stressed really easily, so I don't mind being the manual. I can read. I'd read it so calmly. Yeah, just imagine me calmly reading a manual while someone's just freaking out on the other side, being like, we got a few seconds left, hurry the fuck up. I was like, ah. Well, now you do this and this. Just calmly. It'd be so fucked, but so funny. But I never got to play it, which is unfortunate. But it's because my friend didn't drop me off at home like I thought she was going to after my appointment. She took me to her house, and I was like, I did not want to hang out. I wanted to go home and take a nap. I'm tired. I mean, I was tired, but laying in my bed is so much more comfortable than laying in a house, not being able to talk to people online. As much as I love my friend, I did take a nap when I got home, though. As much as I love my friend and her cooking, after my physical therapy appointments, I do not want to be at her house. Because it's just so loud. Even when, like, her kid is quiet, it's still just so loud. And it's not her fault. She does tell her kid to quiet down when he's being annoying. Like when he hits the cat, and then she's immediately like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because don't hit animals. Sometimes he pinches people, though, and this is like a new development. Like, where did he learn this? It is not okay to pinch people. I was like, stop tormenting the cat. He doesn't like that. She does yell at me when I yell at her kids sometimes, and it's because I yell at him the wrong way. I was like, sorry, I didn't mean it like that, but like, he also shouldn't be doing that to the cat if it's annoying. And if he annoys the cat enough, the cat's not gonna like him. And I would like for the cat to not hate him as he grows with this cat as his pet. It's everyone's cat. Which means we all should treat it like proper being. Like when the cat does not want cuddles, I let go. Because that's what you're supposed to do. If the cat tries to run away from you, you let go. Because that's what you're supposed to do. Though I'm not very good at talking to children. Or at least not little kids. I'm better at talking to older kids that can, like, talk back to me. I don't understand little kids. But they're all intrusive thoughts. And no rational thought yet. Her kid's also not that stupid. Like, he stacked the dishes properly. Like, from largest to smallest. Same thing with the bowls. He just plays dumb all the time. But he's as smart as, like, he's gonna be as smart as her. Like, he's got the same brain capability as her. He ain't gonna be dumb. He's just not trying because he's lazy. He got the two worst traits to go together, smart and lazy. But, like, that's usually how it goes to balance it out, you know? If you're smart, you're gonna become lazy. But then again, my brother, every time he's home, he's always on his video games, which I fully understand. And I fully get, because I would too. If you work all day, you don't want to be with, like, everyone. You want to have fun. But I get it. Sometimes I do deserve to get yelled at by her. Sometimes my brother deserves it way more than she does. Though in the morning she is a bit intense, but that's not even like her. That's just she's just more stressed in the morning, and it's not even anger. And she said it's not anger. She's just stressed in the mornings because naturally higher cortisol levels, which she said, not me. She used that word. Which is how you know she's not stupid. But she also is not doing some things. She ain't stupid, though. She is a little bit lazy. Not with everything, but when it comes to taking care of herself and her own well-being, that is what she's lazy on. She has never once put herself first, and I find that terrible. Because sometimes you just need a break. Or if she does put herself first, it's not for very long, because she's still doing stuff for other people. But we also have one car amongst 2 households and 4 people. So whenever I schedule something, I can't just schedule it whenever I'm free. I have to think about everyone, not just me. Which is something I asked about when it comes to time. Because I'm just like, okay, so what time do you want me to actually schedule this for? It can be whenever on my end. I will figure it out. But you need to tell me. Because you're the one who has it. You're the one who needs the part for your car so that you can get places. This is not a decision I can make because I don't currently have it. Which is annoying. But it's also annoying to find a car. Or at least one with, like, good, like, mileage to, like, car brand ratio. Because if the mileage is too low, well, I meant too high on a car, the car's engine's gonna die out before it hits a certain amount. Not all cars can make it over 300,000 miles. It'd be nice if all cars were, like, the same, like, limit, but nothing is made equally. So, it's impossible to find a car that's, like, decent mileage when it comes to, like, low. And I can ask for as much help as I'd like, but at the end of the day, I don't know anything about cars. So every time I do research on them, I have to research and ask about every little detail about the car before even thinking it's a possibility. Which takes absolutely fucking forever. And it's exhausting. Same thing as sewing, which is why I usually don't. But at the end of the day, I want it done. But I still can't figure out a fucking sewing machine, so I'm just not gonna bother. And I'm just gonna keep hand sewing. Because this is what I'm good at. It's really exhausting looking for a car, though. Especially when all I really want for, like, a full week is to just sleep. But I can't do that and, like, leave you guys with nothing. And I want my channel to grow as fast as possible, which means not taking unnecessary breaks. I don't stop working on projects. Don't get me wrong, projects can be peaceful, but when you need so much and have to do so much, it can be a bit overwhelming. The thing is, if this old woman did not hit my car, it would have lasted me a whole nother year. But now it's not even gonna last me like another week before a wheel tries to fall off and it needing to end up in a junkyard. Because the engine's already about to give out. Because she cracked open my transmission. It's even in records that it was just fixed and resealed. I'm also constantly in pain now, physically. It's not always a lot, but it's constant. It's like pi. Some days it's really low, but sometimes it's pi times 2, where it's a never-ending number, but twice as much pain. I also don't understand pain number charts, because medication does not affect me at all, but that's not why it... Like, I can't take a pain reliever to relieve pain. I need a painkiller. But most of those are opioids, and I don't want to risk taking those. Like, as much as I can say it's improving, every time I do the exercises, it's not. Maybe, like, after the exercise, but I go to sleep, wake up 4 hours, it's right back where I started. I'm getting kind of far. I think I'm getting a little bit faster at it. there was this TV show where there was a dog that could speak. That was a fun TV show. I think it was literally called My Dog Could Talk. Or If My Dog Could Talk. It was a kids' show. I remember when I was in high school, I wrote a story about a serial killer. It got me suspended for 10 days, so don't do that, but, as soon as my mom heard about that, she was like, "Why did you never get to finish that?" And I was like, "They suspended me for it. I stopped writing for the rest of the year because of that." They clearly don't like creativity, so I'm just not gonna be creative at school. And they said the reason that they were suspending me was because they were afraid that people were gonna think that I was a school shooter. Wasn't even planning on it. Psychological thriller and like strategically planned out murders are way different than school shootings. School shootings are from unstable kids that don't care if they die or not. They just want to take everybody down with them. Or adults. Because not all school shootings are done by kids. Probably shouldn't even say this on YouTube. They might take this video down. For me being too political. Guess what? The school system sucks. And maybe kids would actually learn if we made it correctly done, but we don't change the system. And we don't change how we teach kids. Not everybody learns the exact same way. And we've learned that years ago. Over 100 years ago, we found out that the way we're teaching is fucking wrong. We're doing everything wrong. But the whole point of school is control. Not to teach kids, it's about controlling kids and the populace. Getting people to be obedient, follow rules. That's not how the world works. Not every career path has the same thoughts and ideas. Not every kid is gonna be a mathematician or a scientist. Some of them are gonna be business owners. Some of them are gonna be working in a car shop. The only school that I felt like I could truly be creative in was Ponagansett. They had archery courses, they had boating and kayaking. Like, they had so much more. And they had so many more art classes and languages and opportunities for, like, the future of different careers. But they don't do that at every school. They don't care about our future at every school. They just want us to be obedient. They want us to follow a dress code, rules. Arbitrary rules, by the way. Because what if a girl wants to be a model when she's an adult? I mean, I know a lot of girls from that school wanted to be sluts, but not all of them. Only a few. Well, most of them, but that's because of their parents, okay? You can't teach a child who grew up with shitty family. they're just not gonna want to learn. Or at least not the same way everyone else is. I will say this, my mom and my dad were definitely not choices that people definitely did not make the same choices that normal people should make. But they're still kind of successful in their own ways. My mom has no love life, or at least she tries to say she does, but like it's not a good one. Every man she's ever been with, she wants one person to stay with that will travel with her and go on adventures. She doesn't want to be a housewife. She never could be. She struggles with stability when it comes to being in a household. She doesn't like being stuck in one place. She likes to keep moving. Probably part of her ADHD, but it's kind of why her and my dad did not get along. Many other reasons too. But I don't know the other reasons. I just know the main ones. Because both my parents don't like each other anymore. Something that freaks me out that also freaks other people out is saying that my dad married my aunt. Because legally and technically she is my aunt because my cousin is my uncle's son. She's not directly related to my dad. Between anyone except me and my cousin. But me and my cousin are only related through one grandparent. So we're less related than people think. Our only common grandparent is our grandmother. My uncle's mother. She's my aunt because she had my uncle's kid. Which is really funny because my mom and my uncle both don't talk to my grandmother, but my grandmother talks to both my aunt and my dad. Don't get me wrong, my aunt and my dad both don't like her. For different reasons. Like, don't get me wrong, they're not gonna be mean to her, because, she owns the house, but they don't like her. Because she's a mega bitch. Like, I can love my grandma all I want, but I also know she's an awful person, so I'm not gonna treat her like she's a good person. For goodness sake, she's trying to buy her way into heaven. You can't buy your way into heaven. You're either going to heaven or you're not. You're either a shitty person or you're not. There ain't no in between for that shit. Your heart is either lighter or heavier than the feather on the scales of fate. Which my grandmother hates when I use other god terms to refer to fate. But it's only because, she does not believe those gods exist. But I believe every god exists. So I'm gonna use terms from every Bible, every religion, to scrutinize people who are assholes. Because my goal is to hopefully make people realize when they're being an asshole by being an asshole to them. Because I don't care what my fate is at the end of the day. I want people to be nice to each other. Even if it means I have to be mean and condescending. Though I do call people stupid when they are. So maybe I'm just a bully. But, oh well. The thing is, I got, like, bullied without knowing I was getting bullied, in a way. Because I didn't really pay attention to anyone except myself. Because I went to school to learn, not to talk to people. Because I did not like people. Despite not liking men, I did end up dating 2 boys. Different times. Great men. Don't get me wrong. If I was interested in that, they would have been the most optimal options. Smart, hardworking, having money. Perfect options. I just don't like men. It's not their fault. And my friend says, it might be your fault that you don't like men because you use tampons as your first period product. I'm like, what does the fuck does that have anything to do with me not liking men? I never found them physically attractive. I used to unconsciously flirt with women during high school. I did not know it was considered flirting at the time, so don't get me wrong. I didn't get it, but other people thought I was flirting, and they immediately pegged me as a lesbian, and I was just like, okay, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I didn't really fully know what that meant, and I didn't care how people labeled me, which led me down a rabbit hole of researching the gay agenda and things about it, because I wanted to figure myself out. Everyone else figured me out before I figured me out, and I'm just like, okay. This would have been information I would have liked you to share with me. I don't know what I'm feeling most of the time. I don't understand emotions like the average person does. I can't tell how I feel like a normal person. I've never been able to tell how I feel. And a lot of the signs stick to, hey, you might have been depressed your whole childhood. And I'm like, well, I mean, I never really paid attention enough to know how I felt because I didn't really care. I didn't want to feel anything about something I didn't care about. And in essence, I never thought about emotions. or at least not my own. I've only ever really thought about other people's emotions, because those mattered more to me than my own. The amount of times in my group chat I've had to talk a kid down from being either suicidal or homicidal is a lot. And I used logic. I don't just tell her it's wrong, no. Because that didn't stop me from wanting to write a story about a serial killer. I was just thinking it was an interesting concept, and that was the only reason. That was the only thought behind that story. I didn't even care what names I was using. I just wanted, like, creative names. And it was meant to be an alphabet, because I wanted it to be a killer who went and targeted, like, alphabetical order names. Like, they hated everybody, but they wanted to at least put them in alphabetical order. Which I would take that story one step farther, go to my yearbook, if I had one, and then write everyone's names down in alphabetical order. Because I'm not even in high school anymore, it doesn't matter. And just use that, because it'd feel more realistic and kind of creepy. And I kind of would rather people be afraid of me gonna do something than me actually caring about them. Because I don't care about them enough to want to do anything to them. I don't see them. I don't talk to them. I don't even know them. Anyone I went to school with. I didn't care enough to meet anybody. Don't get me wrong, I had friends during high school, but I didn't really know them because they were more friends with each other and just dragged me along than friends with me. I never saw myself as their real friends because I felt like they were more friends with each other than with me. I was just a third, a person who was smart, had access to things like a car or food or money. I felt like I was just kept around because I had things, and that's it. Whether it be my brain or be food, it'd be something more than what they had. And I felt like that was why they kept me around so long. I never felt like they ever liked me. Which was fine. I didn't need them for anything other than someone to talk to when I was bored, or someone to distract me when I didn't want to, like, pay attention in class. Because at the end of the day, I feel nothing for them. Which is probably a sign of some other mental illness. But I don't think it matters to label it anymore. Because I would rather sit in mystery than speak to a therapist. Because I really do not like talking to people about anything other than science and my interests. I don't ever like to talk about me. So when I finally do, it means you've gained a decent amount of my trust, that you won't lie to me or make me feel like I'm crazy. Which is all doctors have ever made me feel. Have a good night, my Pab fans.